Hello everyone. Today I have an interesting mod that I did for this 2021 TRD Pro 4Runner. So this mod is going to be specific for this 2020 plus TRD Pro models and the limited models. The reason is these models come with low beam and high beam LEDs. The LEDs for both low beam and high beam are inside this projector lens. The one in the reflector housing is just a DRL. So it's going to be a regular 9005 halogen. So if I can get you a closer look, yes, this is a regular 9005 halogen bulb. So this is only going to work as a DRL. So all this reflector housing can be used as a second high beam. So what I did was add a relay circuit. So I got a lot of paper sessions today because this is a trial and error thing that I tried out. So I changed the regular halogen to an LED bulb and make it as a second high beam for my 4Runner. Yes, I know I'm holding an expensive LED bulb and I have a much cheaper LED mod. Let me tell you straight away the reason. So this is a Morimoto 2-stroke 3.0 LED bulb. This is like almost $200. I think right now it's 194 or something. But the light pattern I'm getting out of this bulb is not very good. So I used this Nilite 9005 LED bulb. So it's a Nilite product. I got this, and surprisingly the light output, the light pattern was better than the expensive Morimoto LED bulb. I know it's strange, so I'm gonna show you on the wall how it looks, and a picture of the Morimoto light pattern. uh, so pretty much Morimoto had like a straight line of light, and in the middle it was no hotspot, like a white hotspot. So that is not going to help me. I need a bright center hotspot for my high beam. So that's why I went with the Nilite 9005 LED bulb. So let me show you what I did. First I'll show you the actual install that I did. I'm not going to do the install with you because I have already done the install, and as I said, it's trial and error. I wasn't sure if that's going to work or not, and it works. So I'm going to share with you guys what I did, and I will explain you in detail with the printouts that I did. So it will be much better for you to understand how this can be done if you want to try it out. Alright, I know I told you that I'm going to show you the install first. Then I thought, let me explain you on a piece of paper what I have done, and then go to the install and show you what actually it is. So pretty much this is the plan. So I got an on-off switch inside the car, and this is the 12 volts battery, and this is the relay circuit, and these are the two LED bulbs that I replaced, the DRLs, and this is the relay that I use. So this is from an existing HID relay circuit that I had from my previous install. So this is the relay, and I have a 9005 socket, which I cut the socket and exposed the two red and black wires. The red one goes to a on-off switch, and the black one you can just ground it, and the relay has a 12 volt power supply, and there is two 9005 holders that goes to the LED bulbs, and they have their own grounds. You can ground it to anywhere in the body. So if you don't have this kind of relay, you can just buy a 9005 relay harness from Amazon. It's pretty cheap. You can have a switch, and you have the 9005 holders, and it has a switch and the relay. So the install is exactly going to be same as this what I did. So on the relay you can see this portion of it is right here. So I ran the red wire inside the car. So this is the firewall. I ran the red wire inside the car to a switch that I bought, an OEM style switch, and I ground it near the battery. There is a nut, you can ground it, and these two holders are going to these two bulbs. So there is red wire going along with the wire harness and onto the passenger side too, and this ground, you can ground it closer to the battery, closer to the bulb. Wherever you see a nut on the body, you can ground it, and on the driver side also you can ground it. So there's two options to have the switch. So what I did is I ran the red wire into the car, and I tapped a 12 volt wire from the cigarette lighter. So when the switch is on, this is going to have power, and I can only turn on and off when the cigarette lighter has power. If you don't want to tap a wire to the cigarette lighter, you can directly run a 12 volts wire into this OEM switch. So you have a red wire coming from this into the switch, and you have a 12 volt wire coming along with it into the switch. So this way, regardless you have power, like you turn the key on and off, you can have the high beam on and off anytime, because you have the 12 volts power anytime from the battery. And when you turn on the switch, that current is going to go to the relay, and this power is going to go to the bulbs, and the bulbs will turn on. Let me show you a little picture of the light output I had before on the Morimoto. This is the reason that I changed it. You can see these straight lines with the Morimoto, and I don't have a hotspot in the middle. So this is the reason I changed the Morimoto to nightlight LED bulbs, and I'll show you a video. I'm very satisfied with the light output that I'm getting with the nightlight 9005 LEDs. So let's go into the engine area and show you how I did the install. Alright, so here's the look of the LED bulb that I have in the reflector area. I have the low beam and high beam inside this projector lens, and this is gonna be my second high beam. So if you ask me what did you do for the DRLs, I have installed a grill mount Raptor style LED bulbs. As my DRLs, I'll put another video for that. So for now, yes, here is the Nightlight 9005 LED bulb in the reflector area. So let's go inside. So you can see the bulb right here. It has a fan, so it replaced the halogen, and then there's the LED driver, and the stock DRL holder is free right now. I'm not using it. And right here you can see the HID relay that I used for this install, which I explained on the paper. So this is going to act as the relay to supply the power to both the bulbs. On the other side you have the same. You can see the LED bulb on the DRL location, and I have grounded the wire to that location, that is from this socket. And let's go to the wiring. So from this relay I have routed the wires along the side of the car, and so I show you that I cut the existing 9005 socket. So this is the black wire I have grounded right here, and the red wire goes inside the car through this firewall, and the main red wire that supplies power goes in to the positive terminal of the battery. So let's go inside the car and show you how the switch is installed. So this is the OEM style switch that I have. You can see right now it is not turning on, because as I explained you on the paper session, this is going to be powered by the 12 volt outlet. So a wire tap from the 12 volt outlet is gonna come all the way from here into the switch. So if I turn on the car, so right now it's in accessory position, so the cigarette lighter has the power. When I turn it on, you can see it's gonna turn on the lights. So you can turn on and off with this switch. And let me show you the light output of this on the wall, and later I will show you the light output at night time. Alright, so let me show you how the light output is on this wall. I know it's daytime, but still it's pretty bright. So let me turn on my second high beams that I installed. Yes, you can see it has a big hotspot right in the middle, which is mostly important to me. Have further light output down the road straight. So this is the second high beam. So it's right now it's on. Let me turn it off. Let me show you my stock headlights. So right now this is my low beam, and let me switch to high beam. I have turned off the auto high beam so I can turn on the high beams. So this is my stock high beams. Along with stock high beams, let me turn on my second set of high beams. Yes, so this is the second high beam on, second high beam off. You can clearly see I'm adding more light in the middle. Let me turn off my stock high beams. So this is my stock low beams. Turn on my second high beam, so that's with low beams only, and the second high beam you can see I'm adding a lot of light. So low beams off, just the second high beam. So I'm very happy with the light output I have right now, and let me show you at night time how these perform at night. So this is an outside view with stock low beams and high beams, and second high beam that I installed. So right now I have my stock low beams and fog lights and the second high beam that I installed. And this is the outside look with just stock low beams and stock high beams. So as I told you, the low beam and the high beam is inside this projector housing, and the second high beam that I installed is turned off right now. Alright, so first let me show you my stock bulbs. So this is stock low beams only, stock low beam and high beams, and this is back to stock low beams. I'm turning on my stock fog lights just to give you an idea. Now let me turn on just the second high beam that I installed. You can see it has a far reach, but not only far reach, I have light towards the side, which is really good for me on my night driving on rural roads. It's a good thing to have side lighting. So let me turn on my stock low beams and high beams. So right now I'm on all three lights. So stock low beam, stock high beam, and the second high beam that I installed. So let me turn off the second high beam. So this is the stock low beam and high beam, and I'm going to turn on the second high beam. Yes, you can clearly see a lot of light added to my existing lighting along with side lighting. So if I turn off my second high beam, you can see the stock high beam doesn't give me that side lighting. So if I turn off the high beam, so this is the stock fog lights and low beam, I'm getting side lighting. Turn on the second high beam. Yes, you can see much brighter sides and also up front. So overall, really happy with it.